Boom, welcome. If you are employed today and imagine that your job stops today, or let's assume that you own a business and your business, you're not active in that business, or you're not able to be active within that business because life happens. You might get sick, or you may actually just be not being able to function. Road accident. Statistically in our country, I think they say that every minute there's around about 3 to 5 accidents that happen in the country. So if that is the case and you stop being functioning, would you still have any income that's coming through? A lot of people would then say, hey TJ, I've got my policies that is going to pay out, but do you have one? I want to introduce you guys to another option. So I always say that there is a way, but it's not the way. So what do I mean by that? A way basically means that it's an option, and the way is that it is the only way. Today I am visiting one of my clients, and I'll introduce him to you just now. And he's an occupational therapist. Occupational therapist, you might want to Google that name because maybe you don't know what it is. That's right, but he will tell us also he's here. But as a practicing occupational therapist, he's also doing real estate investing. And the question to me was, why? But I also now started figuring out that, remember back in the days when I was a banker and I started doing real estate, you could have asked me the same questions. But today we're going to hear from him. Let's jump on to speak to this guy. His name is Themba. Sounds like a movie star, isn't it? Themba, brother, how's it going? Welcome.
Thank you, sir. How are you?
Awesome stuff.
Thank you.
We've been together now for what? A year? Just below a year?
A year and a few months.
A year and a few months.
Yeah.
And you came to me for the first time and you said, TJ, help me to grow my real estate business. And we started having conversations, and from having conversations, we went through into some classes, we started doing some coaching. And I'd never come to your practice. This is my first time coming to your practice. But before we speak about the journey that we've journeyed with together, maybe let's start to talk about who is Themba.
Okay. As you have introduced me, my name is Themba. I'm an occupational therapist practicing in the field of medical legal and incapacity evaluation. Mostly we refer them as FCE or functional capacity evaluations. So that's my special interest within the body of OT.
Right. So for some of us who are slow like me, in layman terms, what does that mean? When do I come to you for help?
Actually, for occupational therapy, we are talking about anyone who's unable to do their day-to-day activities.
Right.
So when we say day-to-day activities, we can be talking about basic activities like bathing and feeding. Those are your basic activities. We might be talking about instrumental activities, which we are talking about keeping your area clean, like cleaning, showering, cleaning your room or your yard, wherever you stay, or your office. We can be talking about work, which is what you do to get money that you do. It's a form of occupation. So occupation, we're talking about the activity.
Right.
So as an occupational therapist, if you are unable to do your day-to-day activities, that's where I have a role to play.
Sure.
To assist you to be able to do that.
And I think this normally comes in when there's been a life change that has happened. And from my own thinking, when you told me that you're an occupational therapist, I always thought, maybe if you had an accident and now you can't drive, now you need to rehab to drive again.
Yeah.
But then as we started talking today, I realized, Flip, I might just not been able to. I was walking sharp before, and now all of a sudden my hip is giving me issues, then I can't walk. So I
or you can't drive.
Or you can't drive.
Yes, which is an occupation. So if you are unable to do that, then we want to see, and then we'll try to figure out what is the cause of you not being able to do drug driving.
Right.
And then there is a specific evaluation that we do to assess that.
Yeah.
And then if we need to make recommendation to our colleagues, maybe in a form of, maybe to get a proper diagnosis of what is it that we are suffering from, then we can refer back to your treating doctor or physician, and then to give us a diagnosis. But in our case, we'll have to make sure that we put you back to your pre-functioning level.
It's amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Themba, where are you from?
I'm originally from Kiani in Limpopo.
Right.
Yeah.
And you now in Gauteng. What made you move from Limpopo to Gauteng?
When I started doing medical legal work, I think at the time in Limpopo we didn't have a high court, and since most of my clients are lawyers or attorneys who are practicing in that field, Gauteng has got a huge pool of that. So the drive was the market base, to say where is my market. As much as I would travel, at some stage I had a practice in Nelspruit and also in Polokwane. As much as the client, I would go and see that site, but I would make sure that at least I've got a center, which is Gauteng.
Right. When you left school, university, and you graduated, did you ever work for anyone?
I did. When I left, when I graduated in 2012, I did my community service at Maputa Malaji Hospital in Palabora.
Yeah.
That was in 2013. Then 2014 I moved to Giyani at Shaken Hospital, which is a psychiatric hospital.
Right.
And then I worked there, I think 2014 until March 2016. That's when I left the government. Right. So what I did, it's more like how I got to know you. I didn't have much experience in the field, and then I had to get some mentorship mentorship program from Gwen Marie Klute in Pretoria.
Right.
She was running a medical legal mentorship program at the time, which I had to pay for it anyway.
Good.
Yes. So I ran with her for, I think it was about 6 months.
Yeah.
Then I started doing my own thing. I would say fully from 2017. That's when I had my first practice here.
So you went to school, started working.
Yes.
And from working you realized that Themba has some limitations.
Yeah.
The only limitation he has here, he's got the skill to do what he wants to do, and he knows in his mind on how to do it, but now he has some limitations. And you looked in your circle, and then bingo, Gwen came up. And you then joined them, and 6 months later, you then was able to open up your own practice.
Yeah.
So this is how the Shibambo AT started off.
Yeah.
Right. Many businesses fail within their first 5 years. So statistically in our country, 60 to around about 80%. There was a research that was done, I think it was in 2022 with the Western Cape University. They've got a bigger pool of resources to do research, so shout out to them. And they were basically saying, I think it was about 60 to 80% of businesses fail in South Africa in the first 5 years. Yeah. Globally, 90% of businesses that start off, they fail in 5 years. Yeah. Here you are as a government employee. The government doesn't fail, not unless there is a new government or the top board, whatever it is. But you decide to leave that job. It's secure. Yes. Statistically, it's 100%. And then you go on, you're like, no, let me go into an 80-90% possibility of failing, but I think I want to make it work. How long is Shibambo ATP?
Like I said, when I left in 2016, I did go to practice. So,
Right.
but because I found that I had a little bit of limitation somewhere.
Right.
So then I decided to join Gwen. So I would say the reason why maybe I'm still here, it was like I always try to challenge myself.
Right.
As being in private practice is also challenging because there are some months where you can go dry. So because I always try to evaluate myself, I know what to do, and if I don't know what to do, who else can help me?
Right.
So that propelled me to be in practice from, I would say, fully 2016 until to date.
Themba, you've said something very important there, and I'm going to frame it this way. Many men think that they are superstars, and they don't seek help. Many men in our communities are drug addicts, alcohol, workaholic, and they don't seek help. They think that they are superstars.
Yeah.
And for me, for you as a man, lowering down to say, I need help from another person, irrespective of their gender and their race, that's Nobel. I think if all of us did that, we could be walking on water. So well done on that. And the results are showing your business, your practice is still standing. You are here. You're actually doing amazing things. By the way, guys, do not go away because we're going to do a walkthrough of this whole property where Themba is doing amazing things here. Are you married, Themba?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
You are married?
Yes, I'm
Okay, good. One wife? Two wives? Three?
One wife.
One wife?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm aspiring to have more like our previous president.
I wish.
I'm still having conversations with my wife. Yeah, so one wife. How many kids do you have?
Actually, I've got 4 kids.
4 kids.
Yeah, but with my wife, we have got 3.
Okay, cool. So you got 4 kids, and you guys are pushing, and this practice has sustained you now. Yourself and the family. You don't. So this is your practice where you do your business. You don't stay here. You stay somewhere else.
Yeah.
And within this practice, you also have other associates. You were telling me about associates that also come in and work here,
Yeah.
pay you rent and all of those nice things. So you got some further income other than just being practicing.
Yeah. Actually, how it came about, the issue of associate, like I told you, I always try to look better ways of also getting clients and boosting on the revenue.
Yeah.
I knew that when my client or the artist, actually, who do they refer their clients to?
Right.
So while I was practicing in Pretoria, Hartfield, I was alone in the practice and working on my own thing. So, but you find that the same attorney will book a client to a neurosurgeon or orthopedic surgeon or industrial psychologist in Pretoria East or in Centurion, you see. So when I sat and looked to say, okay, I think in order for me to get more clients, I think I need to create sort of a central venue.
Right.
I was trying to assist the attorneys in terms of traveling cost from taking one client to the next. And also some clients would miss appointment because sometimes I take time with the client and then they've got a 12 o'clock appointment in Centurion. You know, Joburg, the issue of traffic, so they don't make that side on time. And then they miss the client, meaning the attorney has to, if the client is coming back from Limpopo, they have to secure accommodation for that night.
Right.
So when I spoke to my colleagues, and then I said, guys, I've got an office space. I can do the administration part. For you, it's just to come and assess the client and then you leave.
Right.
So meaning we can see the client in one space.
Right.
So that has helped me to also get more clients, because like now I was trying also to beat up the competition. When a client think of bringing their patient here, knowing that on that particular one appointment, they will see 3 doctors.
Right.
And then for them to get their report, they also get the report from me.
At the same place.
At the same place.
Yeah.
So we're trying to assist them as well to managing the issue of like now they have to secure an appointment for July from that other doctor, and then they come to me now in February. So they will see the client same day, and then when we are done, they know that we have consulted, the client has consulted 5 doctors for a day. So in that way, that's how I also boosted in terms of the clientele.
So that's amazing, and that's a secret sauce, right? Not many people would think of it that way. So I think it's a secret sauce. You know, we should actually cut it away from the video. It's a secret sauce. It's Themba's secret sauce. But nonetheless, here you are. You went to varsity. You got your degree. Bingo. You started working. You started looking out for help. And you are at a stage now where you have your practice is working, you're trying different things to make sure that your practice is doing amazingly well. But now, in the mix of all of this, bingo, we met, and you then said, TJ, I want to do this real estate thing. What brought in the real estate? Because you already have a practice here, you're doing well. Why do you need to do property investment?
Actually, the practice is dependent on me.
Right.
The life of a practice, it needs my active involvement.
Right.
It's something which, let's say I'm unable to do it tomorrow.
Right.
To get someone to take over and feed me, it might be challenging or impossible to do. So I always wanted something which I can do and which actually I can live on, even if maybe I'm no longer practicing. And also looking at there are a lot of assets when they talk about it. Business is one of it. But real estate, I've realized that it has been there for ages. So, and here where we are in Gauteng, there's also a huge demand of accommodation.
Right.
So, meaning, and the other thing which I've read from on one book, The Millionaire Fastly by Themba.
Right.
There are certain principles which whoever wants to start a business must also abide to, and one which is scaling. Can I scale this practice? Can I scale myself? It's highly impossible to scale myself, but I can have 100 properties.
Man.
So, and the issue again is control.
Right.
He's talk about control as well. It's how much control do I have here? I don't have much of a control. If I were to say, whatever goes wrong with my client, like now we are affected with how the road accident fund is administered for the past 3-4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Payments are taking long. So meaning if my clients are not settling their matters, it means I'm not getting paid.
Oh, wait. So you could do the work today?
Yes.
And only get the money 3-5 years later?
From 2 years upwards.
Oh, wow. So this goes to my point earlier when I'm always saying to guys that are in the tribe, you know, when we're doing some of these deals, we need to figure out that when you're speaking to your child, you can't say, I'm going to give you a sausage 5 years time.
Yeah.
You know, today, you know, I think for me, cash flow is important today.
Yeah.
For our survival. So when we're doing these deals and so on, it's always important for us to have the cash flow so that we can sustain our lives. When we have these big deals coming through, it's great, but let's focus on cash flow so that we can make money today. And this is the problem that you're trying to solve now with your real estate business. Cool, man. Tell us about the project. You are sitting on a what? Is it a 2,000 square?
1.3.
1.3 squares. What is the project? What have you done here?
The project, like from one of the strategies, I've decided to do a multi-let.
Right.
So it's a 16-unit project
Right.
that I'm busy with. So which I built cash
Right.
so far. So from the proceeds of the practice, I've been trying to invest the money in the project. So it's 16 units.
Wait. Okay. So occupational therapist turning investor.
Yeah.
You have money coming in into the occupational therapist business.
Yeah.
You're taking this money and you are putting it now into real estate.
Yes.
A lot of people would survive on this money.
Yeah.
A lot of people would buy a lot of liabilities with this money. But now you're saying, hold on, I get money, this money goes and builds my real estate business, and your real estate business is now making you money. And that's how now you're going to survive. But actually today you don't need this money because you're still practicing, right?
Yeah.
Do you intend to still practice?
Now, I think with time, maybe after building enough asset and maybe trying to figure out other things to do, because
Well, what is enough? Because I've been in it now 10 years. So I started off saying that when I'm doing it. What is enough for you? 5, 10?
I cannot talk about the figure, but I would say, what kind of a life do I need?
Man.
So if you think of, let's say, you want your kids to go to certain schools,
Right.
you need to ensure your life in terms of medical aid and life covers. You need to stay in a place that you want. You want to travel the world.
Yeah.
I think if I'm able to do that, that's when I could say maybe I'm getting there.
Okay.
So it's not attaching the number,
Yeah.
but it's trying to say if I'm able to do 1, 2, 3.
Right. So you are attaching this to a certain lifestyle, so to speak.
Yes.
Okay, good. I like that. All right. So run us through the project. You came to me with this project. I remember we were in a coffee shop one day
Mm-hmm.
and we spoke about this project. And when I see what it is now, what it has developed, you make me proud of what you have done. It's almost like you just came in and you took in what we spoke about and you ran with it. During Christmas, when you said to me, I've already built, I'm now on the first floor.
Yeah.
I was shocked because I didn't think that the process had already gone that far, and there you are in the background, you are just grinding. So tell us from, it's 1,300, and what are you now making it to be? How are you utilizing the piece of land?
Maybe you might need to rephrase the question.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's 1,300.
Yeah.
What is it that you're wanting to get out of it? What are you building? You've already started building some stuff.
Yeah.
So on one side of the property, we can see where we are sitting now. It's your offices.
Mm-hmm.
And are you going to continue to make it as offices?
No, I think once I'm done with the project, also this house will be converted into maybe few units, 2 or 3, and then I will go and rent another office space somewhere else. And then my thinking is from the income or the cash flow that I'll get here, it should be able to pay the office space of where I'll be renting.
Right. Yeah. Got that. So my friends, this is it. But it's not the end. We are now going to take a walk on the property to actually see how this guy here, Themba, how he is actually utilizing this 1,300. He found part of the property, let me rephrase that. On the earth, he found part of the structures of the property here. But now what he's going to do now is further on going to build some more units, and let's go and check them out.
Because the focus now, you won't be focusing on the pain.
Yeah.
You'll be focusing on moving this thing.
Right.
You know, because this is small, and then we also have the nuts, which you also have to do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of muscle that I'm using, and then how I grasp.
Yeah. When I came in here for the first time without you, I thought you were doing woodwork. I'm serious.
Yeah. So this stuff here, this box, is where we're doing our weightlifting.
Okay.
So somebody who complain about back pain, anyway, actually musculoskeletal.
Yeah.
You want to see how they lift. If, let's say, their occupation involved or their job, let me just, for at least for the viewers to understand. For your job, it involves lifting a certain weight. It could be your box of files from one office to the next. So I would want to see how much weight can you lift. Okay. So using this one, and then you lift from the floor, and how you lift. For somebody who has got a knee injury or a hip or a back injury, you would want to see them doing a little bit of compensating with
leaning onto one side.
Yes, then you are able to.
There's a problem there.
There's a problem there. So if they lift safely, they take it there, and then you want to see if they can lift above shoulder level. I will have to take it up.
Okay.
By doing that, you see already I'm extending my arm.
Yeah.
The same with this. I think this one will put a little bit higher, but you can reduce depending on your height. And then you want to see how long can they sustain this position, because I'm raising my hand.
Yeah.
You want to see, so somebody who has got shoulder problem, they will tell you, you will just see how they sometimes drop the arm. And you see, okay, there's limitation. So it gives you an indication what you need to work on.
So it's a practical assessment.
Yes.
Interesting.
That's why we say it's functional capacity evaluation.
I got it. I'm a real estate guy. Right, so this is Themba's office. Themba, you're going to walk us through.
I've indicated this was the house, right?
Yeah.
That we we used to live on. There.
Oh, you stayed here before?
Yes, I did stay here.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. So when I bought this property, I stayed for about 6 months. Yeah, I stayed about 6 months in this property. Then I left, went to stay somewhere, and then I converted the garage to be 2 units.
Yeah.
And then this was a bar, which we converted to another unit. And I think this one we have the key, and this one we can also be able to see inside.
Okay, good. A lot of people, we can go to the back. A lot of people, when they are moving,
Yeah.
they sell off. And you decided to keep.
Yeah, because I always wanted to get a space where I can be able to do this project, where I can be able to do accommodation.
100%.
I would have bought a house in a nice estate, but for me it's a liability as we learn, because that was going to take money out of my pocket.
This is amazing. It's beautiful. I mean, you can tell from behind. Yeah. And what it is, it looks very nice. How many units is it?
Here we have got 16 units. We have got about two bedrooms units,
Yeah.
and then we have got 4 one-bedroom units,
Yeah.
and 10 bachelor units.
Okay. I can see you are at the level where you're now doing a lot of wiring.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, we're just still doing the skeleton, putting the pipe work, and
Yeah.
then the roofing guys will come, and then then we'll start doing the plastering after that.
Cool. How did you get to here? So you bought the land.
Yeah.
I mean, not the land. You bought the property first.
Yeah.
You stayed here,
Yes.
and then now, just walk me through the process of how did you actually get to build? Because there's some compliance here that happens. Because not so long ago, I did another video, and my friends, you are going to see that video right at the end, of a policeman, a retired policeman. He took all his pension and he built something like this. But he just built. So as his neighbors went to the council and complained, and the council is now saying, demolish everything.
Yeah.
And the guy is saying, no, I can't demolish everything. But the bottom line is that he didn't do everything correctly. So what is the correct way? Because we have gone through this process, me and you, talking to different professionals. It was a bit of pain.
Yeah.
Eh? Lots of money that you paid.
Yes.
And for you to get here. And you're still paying some more money.
Yes.
But I never wanted to look at it as you are paying money. You're building your investments. That's the way I look at it. So walk us through the process. So now you have, we spoke about what needs to be done. What was your immediate steps to where you are now from a compliance perspective?
The first step is to get educated.
Right.
Getting educated, you can read books, you can watch video, but I think also finding a mentor, somebody who is already doing what you want to do,
Right.
should be the start in real estate. You will remember when I told you I bought a property, this is what I'm planning to do. Then you ask me how am I going to do it. So the steps will be, after finding a mentor and then you want to do this, the first person will be to find a town planner.
Right.
The town planner, for me, I would say it's the driver, because firstly he will check for you what is permissible to do, whatever you want to do, if it's allowed in that area.
Right.
So, and also in terms of the number of units again, they talk about the density. Yeah. So the town planner will be able to guide your thought process, whatever you are thinking about. So through the town planner, that's when I've learned, when we're doing the application, and then they said, okay, we need to appoint. I think the first person was to appoint the stormwater management consultant.
Right.
Yeah, and then from there we had to appoint also the structural engineer. Some of the consultants we appointed is the geotech guys to come and check the stability. They did a dolomite study. And
again, you still pay for all these services.
So these guys, each one we are appointing separately.
Right.
So the town planner will tell me to say the council, they come back to us with this comment, we need to get this guy. And then we'll shop around, and then whichever process, if you want to handpick, you can just handpick whoever you know, or you do a tendering sort of.
Yeah.
Say get 3 quotes and then you appoint. But basically you will have to appoint the consultant which is required.
Sure.
So in this project I have already involved about 5 consultants: town planner, structural engineer, stormwater management, geotech guy, and now I've recently appointed the electrical engineer to do the service report for us.
This is outside the traditional architect,
yes,
traditional plumber, the traditional builder,
yes,
and Daka Boy. We don't forget you, you're important.
yeah,
And all of these are other guys, right? So having a development like this one is so cool. But you're dealing with multiple people along the ways.
yeah.
And sometimes it can get a little bit tough because everyone is coming in with their own thinking, and they're giving you, but the bottom line is that they need to add value to your project.
Yes.
As you exchange the money, they're giving you value, you're getting certified,
Yes.
and eventually now you can start to build.
Yes.
When do you think you're going to finish?
You give me money, I will be done in 6 months. So actually where we are now, because
where you are, that's the expensive part.
yeah, because it's not expensive in terms of money alone. This process took us a year, and now we're talking about 14 months now.
Right.
On this process, because I appointed the town planner in December 2022.
Right.
So now we are in February 2024.
Wow.
So all during this process, so like I indicated, the town planner will be the one guiding you to say, okay, now you can build, now you can do it this far. We won't have a problem as long as we got the pre-approval first to say, okay, now go ahead.
So we had the masterclass recently. You joined online.
Yeah.
And I'm always saying to the guys in the tribe, guys, there's money with what you have. Before you start to go and look for projects, I want to own a big block of flats and things like that. And a lot of people come to me with that. That's what they want to do. And you have taken on, I think, one of our mantra where we say, look at what you have, optimize what you have.
Yeah.
So for the last year and a half, you didn't buy anything.
No.
You just focused on this project.
Yes.
Compliance is good. We can see already what it's looking like. We're excited of what is going to come through when you do your finishings. Hey, my friends, we are coming back. When this man is done, he did say that he needs some more money though, but I also want to say to you guys, my involvement in this project is to guide this man here. That's all I've done. It's not my project. I have no stake in it. But the bottom line is that I have been able to guide another superhero. And this superhero here has been creating this for himself and for his family. And it gives me great pleasure that I can be able to add value to this guy, because I know that if he doesn't sell this, his kids will benefit, his grandkids will benefit, and by the way, I might not even meet them. And his great, like, I think we underestimate real estate. For me, that's where it takes us to. If anyone is wanting to do this, Themba, they also have a big yard, just like you. What would you say to them? Because you started off as a newbie a couple of months ago, and you are now a couple of steps ahead. And by the way, you said earlier on, find a mentor and so on. I don't think, I didn't pay him to talk about that. He wasn't referring to me. But best...
I said a mentor.
Right. And I want to say this very clear to everybody. If you are wanting to become a member of parliament in your area, you do not seek a mentor who's a president, because the president is far away. You seek another guy who is a member of parliament already in your area. That guy can be able to help you to become a member of parliament. Then thereafter, maybe when you now become a member of parliament, now you want to be maybe a mayor. You don't go to the United States of America president and say, hey, can you be my mentor? Because I find a lot of people that they don't have even a one-bed. But they're looking for big mentors to help them in their journey. And I'm saying, but there is someone else who can help you. Like, for instance, you can guide someone to go through this process. They don't need to come to me. And maybe in their own neighborhood, they also have other people that have done this. So a mentor doesn't need to be always someone out there that you need to bring. It can be someone who's in your neighborhood who's done that, or even your uncle, but get the education. For me, the education is best. But Themba, over to you. What would you recommend for anyone else who's done it? I've given my thoughts. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, like you were mentioning about the mentor. I think the mentor should be someone who's already doing what you want to do, like I said before. And also that person whom you can access, because it's a mentor. And one component which sometimes we shy away from is be willing to add value to them. It could be money, it could be offering some sort of assistance to what they do, so that you can get closer to them, so that they can teach you. That's my view. But I always say, be willing to pay for their time.
100%.
Because they will be giving you attention, they will be giving you resources, they will be giving you networking of, like now in the TJ tribe, I've already found some guys whom I didn't know they're just here in Centurion.
Right.
So when we call each other time and again to check on us, check on each other to say, what are you doing now, how far are you? Whenever I've got a challenge, and then I will call my colleagues and say, this is where I am. What do you think? How did you overcome this? So having a mentor who's doing what you want to do, I will stress that, and be willing to pay for it.
100%. Yeah. Boom! That was it, my friends. Mr. Occupational Therapist. He's not leaving his occupational therapist job, by the way. His practice is not leaving it, but he is building something on the side. And that's what I wish for everybody. And my song will continue singing until Jesus calls me to say, build something like Themba shared. It's something that you do not need to be active on, right? As you're building now, obviously you're active. Yes. But when this thing is functional, if you're to compare what he does in his occupational therapy practice Compared to real estate, it's very little. But the money will not stop. It is I, TJ. I will check you out on the next video. But before you go, you may have some comments about this brother's project. Let us know in the comments. Boom!